everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be about picking curriculum for your special needs homeschooler. Getting right into it, I know that this is not a one size fits all, and as a parent with a special needs child, I understand that curriculum that we pick might work in the beginning and not work halfway through the year. Another thing that I realize is not all curriculum is going to work, and we're going to have to be flexible. We're going to have to adapt. We're going to have to use supplements. And there's days where learning is happening, and there's days where we are just grinding gears to get through something, And so what I like to do when I pick a curriculum is I am a pen and paper gal. I'm doing that right now. I'm kind of going over some picks for next year, changing some things up. And I realized that I really need to follow up to some of my curriculum videos because sometimes stuff just doesn't work and we drop it. And so I kind of need to do a preface, I guess, on some of those videos. So if you are here for some of those videos, please let me know any questions that you have below, and I will try to follow up on those if you guys are interested in that. But getting into how to pick a curriculum. These are going to be more for your core subjects. And my philosophy going into it is I want my child to reach the best of their abilities. And I want to see progression happen. Even if it's slow progression, I want to see progression happen. I also want to see fluency built and confidence built. I understand that every day is a mental marathon for him. And it is going to be hard because some days he's clicking, he's going to be able to, you're like, whoa, we need the next level. And the next day you're just like, what happened? So that happens, and you are not alone. But getting into how to pick a curriculum, because there are not curriculums that are being made for special needs homeschoolers. And that's kind of hard to do anyway, because there's so many different facets and accommodations and disabilities and things like that. So what you need to do is go to the curriculum that you have chose, scope of sequence. And when you're reading through the levels, look at the levels that, if you haven't done it at all, chances are you're going to have to start at level 1. But your child might already know everything that's in level 1. So I start to kind of look at where they stop knowing the concepts, and then I'll kind of back up 1. And I go to the teacher's manual, table of contents, and I kind of compare that. And I say, okay, this is level 2, and they know a couple of the concepts that are mentioned. And this is kind of where we're gonna start here. So you kind of want to weigh that. You want stuff where they do know. You want to have victories. You want to build fluency, but you don't want it to be completely where they don't know any of this stuff, and it's going to be hard. But you also don't want to keep going over, pre-K whenever they're able to do it. I know that every kid is going to be different, so that's where it's kind of hard here. So really comparing the scope of sequence to the teacher's manual. Look at the student work page. And what happens is a lot of curriculums don't show samples. So I go to sites that I might not be purchasing off of, but they show a sample. I come on YouTube and I look at the student workbook, because my child is visual. The curriculum's amazing, but if the workbook is he can do bare bones work. First language lessons, there's no color, there's no cartoons, there's none of that in there. And he does great. But we also do curriculum that does have some stuff on the page. We went all the way where it was so much color, so much characters. It was too busy. It was too hard for him to concentrate. So getting a balance of keeping the fun, but also having something that they can thrive in that student workbook. So you really got to look at all this stuff. It's really an investigation. And once I've nailed down a curriculum, I nail that down. Okay, so I'm going to do this. But the hard days are going to come. And there might be a time that we come where it's stagnation station is what I call it. And we're stagnant. No progress is happening. We can't move on because a concept is not being grasped. And we've done so much review, we're just kind of in one area. So what I like to do is have supplements. One for days where we just can't get to the full lesson, where we can't move on, where we're just on a day that we have taken a mental break and nothing is going to happen. The light switch is off, you know. And so I need supplements to pull from. My son likes to watch TV. He loves videos. So having educational videos, you know, so for history, for example, you know, drive through history, it can be a little dry, but I still make him watch it. Liberty Kids, I'm just saying like history, like things that I'm going to be pulling from next year because that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I do that. Also, so for math, musical multiplication, the little smart pen games, I do math seeds on reading eggs. So having some things that you can pull from to have them do is a really good resource for you too, because not every day is going to be a great day. Another thing that I love to do that I've always done is promote independence. So we have what we call is independent work. And he loves doing that because he feels so accomplished to do something on his own. And I will purposely get up during a lesson, like when he's doing a fill in the blank type thing, and move away, remove myself from the situation, or I start doing something else or helping another kid because I want to see him kind of show the initiative to go to the next problem. Even copy work is a great way to do this. Say, okay, I want you to copy this down and walk away. But what we do is usually handwriting and phonics are independent work for us. He can complete, you know, and it took a while to get there. But handwriting he does on his own, and phonics. And we have little phonics workbooks. We have some, you know, the Explode the Code workbooks. Things like that I have him do on his own so that he can feel that sense of accomplishment. So that's kind of how I choose my homeschool curriculum. And it is time consuming, and there are so many options out there. If something is working for you, stick with that. But if something is just, this isn't going to work, they can't grasp the concepts, I am losing my ability to rein them in and try to understand the concept, chances are we need a new curriculum. So this is a space where I do want to dedicate some time to really answering your questions, and maybe not even answering your questions, but just having the conversation, because I know this is a lonely space. It's an unsure space. You know, not every special needs homeschooler is the same. And I just feel like there's a need for this community in this space. So please let me know what you would like to hear more on choosing curriculums. If you have a question about curriculum that I mentioned in my curriculum videos, leave that down below. I definitely want to continue this conversation. Bye, guys.